So there has to be a person persecuting, there has to be a victim, and there has to be a rescuer. And that is this dreaded drama triangle of victim, persecutor, rescuer. Now you get the picture now? With these three, you can run 20, 40 years, you see. Adana serial. It's also called life at times, if you are not careful. And this is I'm a master. I'm a master. I control my life to whatever extent possible. And then C means I have a person who challenges me to grow all the time. If there are no challenges, then how can I grow? And E means the one who empowers, like a coach. The difference between a rescuer and a coach is, I'll tell you, I'll come to that. So you have this triangle, and this is what he calls as TED. The empowerment dynamic is what he says, TED. So whenever I have somebody who seems to give me a challenge, I can either look in the eyes of a victim and say, persecutor, or there is a challenge and I need to get that challenge, I need to cross that challenge, I need to not look at it as an obstacle, I have to look at it as a stepping stone. And so how do I get my needs met given that challenge? Makes my thought process very different. V, victim, M stands for master. First, the typical victim's words, if you hear, it will always be, I don't want this. I don't want him to do this. I don't want her to do this. I don't want this to happen. Most of the needs would be a negative statement, and rather than asking, what do you really need? You see, that's how you pull that person out of that mess, or pull ourselves out of that mess. Instead of saying, I don't want that to happen, tell what you want to happen. And if you want to be clear about what you want to happen, you need to have a clear idea of what my need is. What is my purpose? You see? And the second thing is absolute non-acceptance. Constantly going back. You should have, I could have. And how do I move from one triangle to another is beautiful. How do I do that is like this. From a victim to a master, I start by asking this simple question. Instead of complaining, what is my purpose? What do I need? And let me start working towards that need. What can I do to get my need met? Whether the need is met or not is secondary. I hope you realize it. The perspective of seeing it itself strengthens us, itself reduces the misery. And of course, we need to get the need met. Nobody denies that. But the perspective itself gives tremendous relief. It is a self-injury of the mind when I keep telling myself, I'm helpless, I'm helpless, I'm helpless. We are not. Bhagavan has given us small circle of influence. We can increase, and to whatever limits possible. At least we should explore the limit. That's why he gave buddhi. You see, the buddhi is the one which helps us to explore and expand what I can influence with my life and with lives of people whom I care about. How do I move from a persecutor to a challenger? This typically happens in some parenting models. What it is what is my intention? Whenever we are trying to, when there are people under my control, because they rely on me for their physical needs or for emotional needs or for whatever needs, when I demand something from them, how do I ensure that I don't get into this triangle of persecution and be a challenger is ask again, what is my intention here? Is my intention something to do with, I told it didn't happen, how dare, you see? Or is it an intention that my self-image is injured because discipline didn't come as I demanded? Or my intention is I need that child or that subordinate or that peer to actually get the need met. And that comes, you again approach that with love and empathy as a background value and look at it again. The way in which you look at a problem may change. Maybe it is not as important as you thought. Maybe there can be a leeway. Maybe I can give a little give and take and get the need met. Finally, the rescuer to an empowerer or a coach is, do I believe that person to be complete without me, or I think I will complete you, you see. So for my completion, I need that little bit fragment out there. If I am feeling very secure, I don't need somebody else's, I don't need to help somebody to feel very happy. You see, I am happy being what I am. And if you need my support, I shall be a catalyst, which means I shall empower you yourself to be what you need to be, rather than saying, anytime you want something, come to me. Why can't I make the other person self-sustained? Why should I keep throwing him every 1 week some money and say, next time you want something, come to me, I will give you. And that is how a rescuer wants to work. And there is a joy in rescuing. You see, that's the whole problem now. We feel important. There is a joy in solving other people's problems. Why? We feel important. And but we need to empower people. That's real sign of love. That's a real sign of love when we empower people. And the beauty of a coach, you see, redundancy. I'm ready to be redundant. That's why coaches are enablers. And future 90% of careers in the industry is going to be enabling, which means the people who are enabling would never taste direct success. They are not going to be in the limelight because we are in service now. When you serve, you are enabling. So the whole idea of enabling should be incorporated right from formative years. And even in Gopakutiram, we have to start looking at how do I make the enabling as a value for the children to relish, so that they don't have to hog the limelight to feel happy all the time. It's good that we'll give them limelight. But how do I relish enabling being behind the scenes? How do I relish the job I do, even though the world may not see the actual result of what I did? I'm going to be in the backstage. The person or the project or the product which I enabled is going to hog the limelight, you see.
And let's count our blessings and make every blessing count. Have a great day.